You're in for a treat today because this is a 3,240 square feet single floor plate apartment. It's so difficult to get a huge floor plate with at least 5 bedrooms under $5 million. In terms of PSF, it's less than $1,400 per square foot in D11 Novena. We're at Tan Tong Meng Tower. I would say that this is like really one of the scarce assets in Singapore right now. This is the entire Tan Tock Seng Health City. That's how close we are to Novena. Right across, this is the entire Toa Payoh estate, and you can see Sky 11 right there. Right in front of Sky 11, there are multiple GLS sites coming up near to the MRT station right there. And of course, there's a lot of developments going on in this zone at Mount Pleasant. The old police academy is also undergoing construction for the brand new township of brand new BTOs that are coming out. In front of me, there's a couple of projects from Cube 8 to the Arts to Vista Residences and the start point of Balestier. So we are actually at a very nice zone. I would call it like a trifecta zone in the sense that you get to enjoy TCR estate today. 3240 square feet. There are only 30 over residential apartments right here in Tan Tong Meng Tower. MCST fee is extremely reasonable, below $1,000 per month for 5-bed 4-bath. In fact, it's only about $800 odd per month for MCST fee. Now nowadays, if you go to a CCR zone, you get a normal 3-bedder. You're already looking at MCST fee of close to about $1,000. So 4-bedders of the CCR properties right there that are freehold in status in 10 and 11. Let's say for example Bukit Timah and Novena. 4-bedders averagely range between $1,500 to $2,000 in terms of monthly MCST. I am walking around in the living area, and just to give you a glimpse how longish and wide is the living zone, I'm going to float up the floor plan because there are only 2 units per level. We're right at the high level zone, and every apartment has 3 separate views. So you have 2 views at the side, one at your main. Here is predominantly northeast facing. You have southwest towards your door, so the entire apartment has no afternoon sun. I would really float up the idea of having like a nice open library right here. Flush the wall with all your bookshelves, the library. The study zone is right here. Glass out the entire area. You can still work from here. Your kids can study from here. Secondly, you can also make this into like a music room if you want to, or your drum set, your piano. That can be done over here in the comfort of the living room. Thirdly, this can also be made into like an open bar counter zone. In fact, if you want this to be like another dining area, that can be done. This separated kind of steps concept is a little bit like a landed property. In fact, I'll call this really like a landed in the sky because this is single floor plate landed. Sometimes a lot of our clients, after they purchase a landed property, they feel that the multi-tier leveling have a potential that their kids will be upstairs and it's very hard to call them down. So sometimes after staying in a landed property for a few years, they'll contact us back and say that, hey Melvin, can you and your team help us to hunt for something that is of a single level so that all our kids can be on the same level, but I need at least 4 to 5 bedrooms. And I think this is a perfect choice for you because you are freehold status, $4.5 million starting from 5-bed 4-bath, and you have potential to make into 6-bedder. So I'm going to kickstart from this zone first. This is like a nice enclosed yet open kitchen concept. You can close up the panels here, you can close up the sliding glass. If you see what's opposite, those are GLS land plots towards Mount Pleasant. You have renovation that's just done in the year 2017. $350,000 that has been invested by our clients. They have done a full-blown gut renovation. In fact, this is the most renovated unit for sale right now in Tan Tong Meng Tower. You have your ancillary services zone being taken care of, your own yard area, laundry, helper's room, storage room is all right tucked at this corner. So this is already taken care of. You have your junior master here. What we can do is really flush up with nice carpentry for additional study table area, put in like a nice bunk bed for your kids, or put in a nice queen bed. And it is a junior ensuite that's being attached to this bedroom. So you have 2 ensuites in this entire apartment, 2 common bathrooms. So it's extremely convenient. So This is the common bathroom, and then you have this 5th bedroom right here tucked at this corner. So this 5th bedroom is the smallest room, but importantly, this room is great as a guest room, it's great as a study room, it's great as a kids room as well. I'm going to bring you to flip over to the other side. This is the study room. So as mentioned, in total there are 5 bedrooms over here. So this is now crafted as a study, but of course, if you can visualize putting in a bed towards the corner, you can do that. Currently it's really full-blown study with 3 separate study desks, but then importantly, there are 4 panels of wardrobe space here. You can also put in like a single bed right here. It's up to you to reconfigure. Most importantly, size is more important, and room shapes are all regular. They are all in shapes that can easily be customized using carpentry work, furniture combination. Right. I'm going to show you the master room concept. So master room is huge. It's the largest room in this space. You have your own walk-in wardrobe space. In fact, if you look at the paneling, there's multiple wardrobe space for his and hers. There's a lot of under the latch storage that's also being done. Woody concept, king bed with your side consoles already being done. Right in front of us actually is the entire Balestier zone. So if you look across, you will see that a lot of apartments like Vista Residences, Cube 8, The Art, they are high-rise because the plot ratio here is 2.8 based on URA Master Plan, the latest one. It already shows that in terms of future potential, the en-bloc potential. But of course, in terms of the mindset of thinking about, hey, should I buy an older age apartment to wait for en-bloc? We usually will want to encourage our investors to think that en-bloc will come as a bonus, because it really depends whether 80% of the owners are willing to let go of this precious land. And if one day that happens, then just treat it as a bonus. But most importantly is that right now, the PSF is below $1,400 per square foot. If we look at what is happening in the OCR zone, the latest launches this year, you look at Springleaf Residence, averagely 2,002 PSF. You look at currently D11 launching the Sand, averagely 2,002 PSF onwards. And these are all GRS land plot, 99 years. Of course, the quantum of these apartments are lower because the 3-bedders are 900 plus square feet, 1,000 square feet. 4-bedders are about 1,000 to 1,004 square feet. Every per square foot that you're paying, it is still based on 1 square footage. Alright, so for example, if you are paying $2,200 for per square foot on 99 years new launch, you are still paying $2,200 on 1 square foot kind of zone, alright, 1 area, alright, 1 footprint. But then this is 1,400 PSF for a freehold footprint, so you are still paying the same amount of size for that every dollar that you're coming out with. Large size apartment has a quantum advantage. Quantum advantage means that this is 3,240 square feet. Every $100 PSF gain on this freehold status land plot is going to bring up a $324,000 quantum gain. So if you buy a smaller size apartment, let's say 1,004 square feet, every $100 PSF gain, that's going to bring up a quantum of only $140,000. People that love to invest in large size apartment and they have holding power, they are waiting for a gradual increase. So basically for large size apartment, your asset engine don't have to work as hard as a smaller size apartment, and that is why large format apartments are extremely precious. So this is the master room ensuite. You can really save a lot on renovation. So basically over here, minimum work can be done just by coming in with new coat of wallpaper, new paint work. You can top up a little bit of carpentry. Flooring wise, great condition. Even let's say for example, the bedrooms you want to change the flooring to vinyl, it's very easy to reconfigure, but importantly, the ACs are in good condition. Windows, if you have young kids, invisible grills has already been done. The entire city view towards Novena, Thomson Medical is just right across. And we just love the concept of the D11 CCR Novena zone. And when you talk about the health city of Singapore, what's important is that you have 2 separate aspects. Government will only add on more and more health cities. For example, they will add on the Sengkang Hospital. There's already Changi Hospital. They're building a new Woodlands Hospital. They're decentralizing the hospitals, but in the city center, Tan Tong Meng is one of the most important hospitals. This is a very large health city, which means that you're going to have a lot of ongoing healthcare professionals that needs rental in this zone. In future, let's say if you decide that maybe 10 years later, 15 years, your kids have grown up and moved out, and this apartment is a little bit too big, but there's optionality, and that's the beauty of the dual key concept that can happen in future if you want to do it. So let's take a guideline from this main pillar. This main pillar acts as an intersection point that this can create a demarcation right in this center wall line to separate into two separate apartments. You can then build like a centralized foyers here. You can just make it very modular walls. Alright, so this is the entrance towards this side of the apartment. So this whole area gives you 3 beds, dining. You can have an open kitchen that's crafted over there, then put in your living area, plus like an open kitchen with a dining zone. If you come here, you can preserve your living, dining, kitchen and 2 bedrooms, and you still have 2 bathrooms. One of them are ensuite. So each side having that very good configuration of 2 bedrooms on each angle gives you the luxury to create a dual key concept. You can rent out one space, $6,000, $7,000. The other space you can keep it for your own usage. Anytime you want to reinstate this back to the original large format 5-bed 4-bath, you can always do that, because all you need is just a nice modular wall and a modular foyer right in the center. Now let's come to the front here. This is a freehold zone. So importantly, the freehold status is in a very strategic kind of a decision that you want to make. You want to try your best to own a freehold apartment as much as you can. But importantly, this is an old money zone. Old money zone in CCR, extremely precious. We want to ride on the wave of all future land plots. So across the street, Sky 11, around them, there's a lot of GRS happening at the Mount Pleasant area. So in terms of that zone, any GRS that's going to be launched there, I'm confident it's going to be at least more than $3,000 PSF for a GRS 99 years. This is $1,400 PSF based on $4.5 million vis-a-vis 3240 square feet. That means from 1,004 to 3,000. This is, the gap is 1,006. I love to have GLS 99 years launch to create new benchmark for this zone, because in future, all the owners that have invested for $3,000 PSF, they need to exit at 33, 34, 35 PSF. That will create an even larger gap of close to $2,000 from your 1,004 PSF. By creating new benchmark in every zone, this set a precedence for this area, and in future, you just need this apartment to rise up to 1,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7 PSF. You can already see quantum gain, and every $100 PSF gain is 324,000 quantum gain. So importantly, enjoy the space here, and this probably at this quantum at $4.5 million, you might be thinking, hey, then should I go into OCR to buy a landed property? And nowadays, you want to get an inter-terrace at the OCR area, let's say D28, D19, or maybe D16 at the OCR suburban market, you have to have at least 4+ to 5 million for inter-terrace, but you still have to add on maybe $1 million for A&A. Importantly, the moat is very different. Both are freehold if you're comparing between land and apartment, but the maintenance is much lesser, and maintenance fee here is only $800 per month. When you own a landed property, of course you own the land and the structure, but importantly, you have to maintain the structure externally and internally, and sometimes not spend too much time thinking about, you know, like external wall cracks, water leakages and stuff like that, because in the MCST strata environment, anything external is taken care of by MCST. You only need to take care of internal aspects of a property. Now let's come over to this portion here. So you enjoy the best of 3 worlds. You have the entire Balestier enclave here, where all the good food is, and you have Zhongshan Mall right there. You have the famous Bak Kut Teh chicken rice. You have the entire Novena. You have the entire Toa Payoh, Mount Pleasant that's happening. The old police academy is a huge township of BTO flats as well. So the government is putting a lot of attention right here. So in terms of potential, comparing these 3 zones, you're here enjoying Balestier, Toa Payoh, Novena, Thompson. You also can sit on a land that might have a bonus en bloc in future. Of course, we don't want to promise anything. We don't know whether you will do it, but then as long as 80% of the owners in future are willing to sell and developer wants to buy, then that can happen in near, mid, or maybe the far future, or it might not happen at all. But importantly, owning a freehold land engine, you're sitting on the pristine freehold tenure land, is extremely, extremely precious. Alright, so importantly, if you want to have a look at this place, give a call to George and Tabitha, our listing consultants. They'll be very happy to arrange a private viewing for you. And don't miss this opportunity to own this for less than $1,400 PSF at $4.5 million starting from. We'll see you soon. Okay. Come. Okay. 开始。
OK，rolling。
可以啊。